is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Hello, good evening. It's Friday night and it's 9 p.m. here in Los Angeles or in Pacific where I'm based. So magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. And if you're watching us from the Philippines, good, lunchtime. So I hope you're having, like as always, having a wonderful lunch with your loved ones, family, friends, and significant others. So if you're watching the afternoon and good evening, magandang araw sa inyo lahat. Hopefully you watch this. So regardless what it is, happy viewing to everybody. This is an exciting show again for today because we have a very special guest all the way from Houston, Texas. So I was telling her earlier, we're keeping her up because the difference between Los Angeles and Texas, I believe it's 2 hours because they're in, I think they're in Central. So there's Pacific, then Mountain, then Central, then East Coast. So there, we call them really the Midwest. So she is up and about in Houston, Texas, and she is a nurse, of course, and we'll kind of grill her later about being an 18th placer in the board exam in 1993. So that's gonna be tough, and we're gonna ask some some things about her that she might not know that I know.
Oh my.
So that's kind of very, very interesting. So without much further ado, before anything else, let me tell you first that we are live on PHLB Radio Facebook page as well as simultaneously live airing on PHLB Radio YouTube channel. So if you're not a subscriber yet, please do subscribe, like, and share. So and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time we're on. Also, we are on different platforms, airing simultaneously on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. And if you want to see our replay of any of our shows, just go into PHLB Radio YouTube channel. There's already a playlist waiting for you. And if you have Amazon Fire TV, just look for PHLB Radio channel. And if you're using Alexa, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play PHLB Radio. Yan so you won't miss any of our shows. So like what I said, let me introduce to you para it will be a very nice and interesting conversation because I have so many things to discuss with her and I know ito po ay kanyang kapupulutan na mga lessons, mga tips, mga insightful information and motivational information that might help all of us moving forward. Not only, sabi nga niya, she is a life changer coach as well. So we'll ask her and we will definitely inquire more about that. So without much further ado, let me introduce you Mary Jane Concepcion, or better known as Nurse MJ. How are you, MJ?
I'm doing well. Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Josh. It's a pleasure to be here. And yung mga nanonood po sa atin sa Philippines, magandang tanghali po. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be part of your show. Thank you, Josh.
Well, it's the funny thing is because I've been meeting her, I think couple of years now. Every time every time we have a show in Houston, I will always bump into her. But last August was the first time we really have like a chit chat, and I didn't know about her daughter, her only daughter Mara. Can sing? And then so I was asking some people around, who can I talk to about her? And then the funny thing is I was talking to Mary Jane already. Said me, I'm the mom. So we'll guest her one of these days, but
Yes.
we'll concentrate first on Nurse MJ. So
Okay.
Nurse MJ, let's start. I know you are Mary Jane Concepcion, but of
Uh-huh.
course Concepcion is your married name to Edison. So your maiden name is
Verzosa.
Versosa with a
Yes,
V, like
with a V.
the actress Versosa. Now,
Yeah.
the Versosas from where regionally, MJ?
Well, actually, I'm from Batac, Ilocos Norte. So I'm from the northern part of the country, and there's a lot of Versosas. Actually, there's Versosas in Baguio City. There's Versosas all over the country, but we are from the northern part. So, Ilocos Norte, Batak. Good afternoon, mga taga Batak there.
So
Yes,
did you grow up? Did you grow up in Batak?
yes. That's where I grew up there, and I graduated from Mariano Marquez State University. So from elementary until college, my schools like Mariano Marquez Elementary School, Mariano Marquez University High School, and Mariano Marquez University for my bachelor's in
In nursing.
nursing.
Right.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing you finished in 1993, right?
Mhm.
And then you took the board and you placed 18th. Grabe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18 siya among the board passer at the time. And for those people who are not familiar with nursing board, it's not a walk in the park. It's really, I mean, para kang naglaw. There's so
Yes.
many people who would take that pero maraming nalalaglag. And
Yeah.
imagine to be 18th or technically top 18 of that batch. That is so much to be so it's really such an honor. And I bet there was such a big celebration during that time.
Thank you, Joss. Yeah, if I remember it right, we were about 20,000 test takers, and there were, yeah, I was blessed to be one of the top 18 in the board
Grabe.
exam.
So,
But,
did you
yeah.
practice nursing in the Philippines before you migrated to the United States?
Yes, I did. I did for a few years. Because after I graduated, like I graduated in 1993, and then I got married in 1997. So my first job in the Philippines was at Manila Medical Center. You know where that place, like
In
near,
Ortigas?
yes. No, it's
Ah,
Ortigas is
I was thinking
Medical
Medical
City.
City. Yeah, where's that
Yes.
at?
Yeah, Manila Medical Center is in somewhere in Manila. It's like near Maddox, Manila Doctors
Ah,
Hospital,
okay.
around that area. But I also worked at Medical City though in Ortigas.
In Ortigas, yeah.
Yes, so I
I'm
worked.
familiar with Maddox because that's where
Mhm,
we have a good friend there who's the director. But
mhm,
I know that area, that's the Padre Paura or something, right? It's
mhm.
very
Yes,
familiar.
that is
Okay, so
correct.
you worked there for a while, and now you mentioned about you got married in the Philippines. So you got married to Edison.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Yes.
is Edison also from the same province? Or I want to know more about the story and how you get to know each other. Was it
Okay.
high school sweetheart?
No, actually not, because his cousin, her name is Irene. She was my best friend in college. So after we graduated from our nursing degree, I had to go to Manila to, of course, take the board exam and take the reviews. So I stayed in his cousin's place. So that's how we met. So is this more like a love story? Yeah, so that's how we met. Like his cousin introduced us to each other. And actually he parang nag-ano siya, nag-disguise nga siya. He called me one time. Like he introduced himself as Dennis, but then I recognized his voice. So I knew it was him. So that's how it all started.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about him, let me show some pictures of Edison. Let's show the husband. Let's show Edison. Are you seeing it? Yeah.
Wow, you actually did your research. You were right.
Okay. There's a couple more. You'll be surprised. Different years. Okay. And I think there's two more.
Yeah.
And then there's a new one, recent one.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yeah. I know. I
Okay.
love that photo.
I know. I've seen it, so I have to go to different Facebook page of your children to find. Okay, so you met Edison. So how was the courtship long?
What? It's a normal courtship. I can't say it was that long. We met 1993, and then I think we became boyfriends about 1994, 1995. We got married 1997. So it was a normal relationship. Not like, there are relationships out there that they've been sweethearts since high school or things like those, but ours was more like a random,
Yeah.
thing that just happened, and we just thought that we were meant
So
for
it
each
was it,
other.
would you say it's love at first sight after he was pretending to be Dennis and all of a sudden you kind of know that it's Edison. So how was that? I mean, let's talk a little bit about that. Was it love at first sight when you saw him? Was there
I
stars and music you heard?
Well, I think so. You know, when you meet someone where you just look in the eye and you just feel something like in your heart that kinikilig ka, di ba? Or it was too good to be true. Like you met someone and you just fall in love. I think that was all odds we had to be together. So
Well, but
yeah.
it's a good story because like
Huh?
being that you stayed at the cousins and then the cousin introduced you, that was so cool. Okay,
Mhm.
now if you have a message for Edison, because I know we'll talk more about your personal life because that's
Mhm.
very very interesting. I mean, okay, let's show again Dennis's picture. So, what is your message for your husband now?
Well, I just want to, my husband is he's very responsible man, and he's very like caring, he's very supportive, and I just want to thank him for all these years. We've been married for 25 years. Actually, it's so exciting because last year we went home to the Philippines to have our silver wedding anniversary, and we actually got married in the church because we didn't have church wedding in the beginning. We married through the court. So last year we decided at 25 years that we were going to get married in the church. And what was beautiful about that was our kids were part of our wedding.
That's so
That was the best
beautiful.
part. Yes, yes.
Wow, that was so beautiful. So
Yeah.
EJ, Xavier, and Mara, what
Mhm.
was there with you? What did they
Yes.
did they serve as like participant, like
Oh,
you're gonna
yes.
be your maid of honor and stuff like that?
Yes,
That was
absolutely. My
so
boys were both best men. I had a very big entourage, like 50 people.
I can
And then
imagine.
Yeah, and then Mara was like maiden, one of the maidens of honor. Because like all my nieces and nephews and my sister and their husband and my sister-in-law, everybody and our friends, everybody were part of the entourage. I don't know if you looked through our Facebook page,
Yes, I
but
did.
yeah. And we had different shades of blue and
Yes.
gray. That was the motif. So it was it was a very, very affordable and reasonable wedding. You know how weddings in the Philippines are, right? So
Yes.
it wasn't that expensive at all. Like, I'm not kidding. We didn't beautiful wedding. And I mean, I was so touched because my kids were part of it.
And
And
that's the beautiful thing about it because,
Mhm.
as they said, when you started with two people, two people being one soul, when you got married 25 years ago, and then
Yes.
25 years after getting renewal of vows, or basically it's a renewal of vows, but in your case, you really had a church wedding, and for your kids to be a participant, so they could
Mhm.
see really, you know, being in a relationship, it's not like a walk in the park. So there's
Oh,
up
yes.
and down and some challenges, but to be renewing your vow and being your kids to witness the union of the parents, that is something that in my book it's priceless, and that's
Yes.
an
Oh, yeah.
experience you will never forget.
Yes. And I actually have like our photos, like I had it laminated and everything, and it's like a collage and it's in our wall. And my kids were like, Ma, why did you have to laminate it like that? So it's like you were not gonna change it. No, because it's very memorable. This is one of the best moments of our lives because we were all part of that very momentous event. So,
Yeah.
and all our relatives, our close friends, they were part of it. So it was a beautiful wedding, and I cannot say enough how blessed we are, especially with our kids being part of it, witnessing this beautiful moment. And even the pastor that officiated our wedding, Pastor Miggs, I mean, I just met him like randomly in Florida one time when I attended the John Maxwell National
Yeah.
Certification. And then we became like friends. And then he officiated our wedding. So it's like God has put everything together for it to be a beautiful day in our lives. And we did it the same day that we got married, June 18th,
Oh my
1997. So we,
God, that is so
yes,
symbolic.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, since we talk about your husband, Edison, let's talk about your three kids. You have two boys. Well, they're not
Yes.
boys anymore. They're brand new men. That's EJ, who's 24 years old, and Xavier, who's 23 years old, and of course, the little princess, whom I met. I didn't personally meet her, but I saw her perform. It's Mara, who's 16 years old. Let's show
Mhm.
some pictures. I got some pictures here. It's so cute.
Yeah.
We have the old picture. I think this is the newest one where you got married right there. And of course,
Yes.
this was taken here. Yeah. And Mara is such a baby. And then
Yeah.
let's show the wedding picture. I guess there's another one. Yeah, right there. Okay,
Yeah.
let's freeze it there a little bit, yo. Okay, Mara, of course, is the one, the little girl in right in front next to mom, and then of course, I would assume Saver is the one next to Mara.
No, that's EJ.
Oh, okay, because it seems like EJ was the other one, so my mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Yeah.
if you have a message for EJ, who's 24 years old now, and hopefully EJ, you're watching this or you're gonna watch this. What is mom's message to EJ?
Oh my gosh. When it comes to my kids, Josh, it just melts my heart. But I just want to tell EJ, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, always remember Mama is always going to be here. And when I turned 50, my kids sang this song and they made it a cover, and I will never ever forget it because it's Ride Home. And they said at the end of the video, I just want to reiterate that, anak, I will always be your home. So, and I say that to all my kids. I love my kids. Like, I mean, God says that the closest that God can explain his love to his children is a mother's love to his kids. And that's just how I feel for my kids.
Wow. What is EJ doing now?
Well, EJ is a Navy reservist.
Yeah.
So he was mobilized in San Diego for a year. So yeah, they're gonna be here in 10 days, but I'm so excited. But they've been gone for about a year, and he's in the Navy, but he's deciding to stay in San Diego, which breaks my heart because I want him to come back home. But he's 24, he's very responsible. And you know what he told me? Even when he was in high school, he said, Ma, wherever we go, we'll be fine because you raised us well.
That
So
is so nice to hear.
yes, I trust God that wherever they go, whatever they're doing, my kids will be safe and he's going to take care of them. Because my husband and I have tried our very best to really bring them up as good kids. It's not all about being successful materially. That's not what really is all about in this world, is being happy and safe and be good to others. That's all that matter. Or that's what matters most. It doesn't mean that does matter, but what matters more is being a good person, and that's what we try to teach our kids.
Yeah.
And I know wherever they are behaving well.
So, well, it seems like you knowing and knowing your kids and seeing them, it seems like you have imparted, you and Edison imparted a good seed. As they said, the core is more important. When everything fails, all of us kids, the
Mhm.
children, I mean, we were once kids of someone else. There's
Mhm.
always, we go back to our core, which is
Oh
the basic
yes.
value imparted to us by our parents. Now, you spoke about EJ. What about Xavier? Can we show the picture again, yo? So at least we have a
Oh.
point of reference on EJ. EJ is the middle child, like me.
No, Xavier is the middle
Oh,
child.
sorry. EJ is the eldest, of course.
Yes.
And then like Xavier is like my buddy because I'm a middle
Yes.
child myself too. But before you continue, there's a lot of people already watching us. Rona Rivera, hello, watching from California. I think from Sherman Oaks, California. Ems Dabs is watching from the Philippines. Marcos C. Cha is watching. Erlinda Gulayan Cercado is watching. Hello. Erlinda or Mama E is the mother of Fourth Impact, the girl group, the world champion girl group who will be doing a world tour. Well, U.S. tour first. And
Mm-hmm.
then who else? Adele Ordinario. Good evening. She said Adele is one of the supporter, very staunch supporter of PHLB Radio. Not only my show, and she is everywhere. She's always in Las Vegas. Jemu, hello. Jemu is here in California in Torrance, California. She is one of the best baker in town. Teka, ano pa? And they said, hello, hello, hello to your guest. Oh, hello. Yeah, okay. And then we have
Oh,
more people watching us. So let's go to Saver, my buddy, who's a middle child, who's who's 23 years old. There you
yes,
go. So
yes.
Saver is the one next to Edison, the
Mm-hmm.
one so close to Edison. If you're
Yes,
looking at the picture, he's to the right of Edison.
yes.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They're all good looking kids, huh? Good combination, you and Edison.
Thank you.
So, so
Proud
what's
mom
your
here.
message? I could imagine. What's your message to Xavier?
Oh my gosh. Xavier anak, I'm so excited you're coming home for a few days. I love you so much and I know that whatever you're doing your best because Xavier is, my kids they have different personalities. Xavier is very very disciplined. He's hardworking, he's very organized and he's so focused on the things that he does. And I know that you're going to be successful wherever you go. And I pray that God will take care of you because Xavier is also in the military. So he's in the Air Force.
Oh, so
Yeah.
EJ is in the Navy,
Mm-hmm.
and then your Xavier is in Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
How come they went to different branches? That's interesting.
I know. Well, that's what, maybe that's what God had brought them to. And Xavier actually, he's kind of like, when he was thinking about it, he told he was just messing with me because I tell him why the Marines, why the Army. I'm like, I'm scared. And then lo and behold, he already decided he's gonna do the Air Force. And when I learned that he was gonna do the Air Force, I was so relieved because it's not that Air Force is the best or whatever, but I think it's the safest. And I was like, I hope so. But yeah, he's a good kid too. I can't really say enough. My kids are good kids. I'm so blessed. Edison and I are so blessed with our kids.
And that's amazing because nowadays we hear horrible problems and
Mm-hmm.
stories about kids, especially those being raised here in this country, versus because there's so many rules here. You cannot hit them. The discipline is way different, and to hear that from a parent like you, whose kids were born and raised here, that's amazing. And kudos to you and Edison.
Thank you.
So Emma Consul is watching from Carson, California. Hi, Emma. Nice seeing you last Thursday. Okay, now let's go to your princess, whom I met and I will be guesting one of these days. Let's talk about Mara, who is 16
Oh my
years
gosh.
old. Let's show Mara right there. I say she's the sweetest. And the
Oh,
girl can sing. You guys just watch until she guests next month. She and her friend would guess, and I'm telling you, you will be on for a surprise. I was telling MJ, there's a secret. They need to be discovered and be heard by the world because they're so young and they could really sing a storm. So, your message for your little princess.
oh, my dear Mara, and I know you're so busy because she is extremely busy, like from 6, 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. because she's into a lot of things. She's a junior now and she is into musical. She's dancing too. She's been dancing since like 3 years old. So she pretty much is awake anywhere between 16 to 18 hours a day. So I just want you to take care of yourself. I love you. I know you're so busy, and I want you to not neglect your health. Because of her busyness, I mean, sometimes it takes a toll on her self, and I just give her a break. Like, I don't even care if she doesn't go to school. My priority is her health. So You know that we'll always support you, anak. Wherever you go and whatever you want to become, we're all here. Your papa and your kuyas, we're all here to support you because you know you've been working so hard all your life since you're 3 years old. I pray that all your dreams will come true and we'll always be here to support you. We love you so much.
And Mara still lives at home.
Yes,
Is
yes.
she is
I'm
she
glad.
planning is she planning to still like she's you said she's a junior. Was there any
Mhm.
plan to join the service again?
No, no, please.
You have two already, so forget it.
No, I don't think that's what she plans to do. You know, she's in the arts because, as I told you, she sings, she dances, she acts, she models. I mean, she wants to be a backup dancer of the famous artists, although she can sing too. So we even tell her, instead of becoming a backup dancer, why don't you be the lead? Like you're the one that have backup dancers, not you backing up those singers. Because literally, yeah, she can sing and dance and act and model.
That's
So
why we need to talk to her hopefully next month because we are planning to do a U.S. tour for the
mhm,
Fourth Impact.
mhm.
So I definitely will invite her and her friend as one of
Yes.
the performers. I think it needs to be said that she's really good. And if I said they're good, they're really good. Okay.
Thank you,
Now
Josh.
you earn your master's at family. Well, and you are a family nurse practitioner, and
Mhm,
then you did that in 2011.
mhm, mhm.
Okay, and then
That's
of
right.
course now you work as a pain management nurse. And tell
Mhm,
us about that because I'm quite familiar with the internal medicine that you did in the past at Baylor and the pulmonary medicine orthopedic surgery nurse. I know
mhm,
you did that for 10 years. But
mhm.
explain to us for people who are not too familiar what the pain management nurse is. What does it do?
Well, I'm a nurse practitioner, so I now work with the pain management team where
Mhm.
we get consulted for different patients that have pain issues, uncontrolled pain. So I literally like represent the doctor. I have a supervising doctor, so I act on behalf of the doctor. So I can do, I can order. So a nurse practitioner actually is kind of like the right hand of a doctor. So I function at a higher level from the bedside nurses. So my role is a little bit different because I'm part of the team that actually takes care of or manages the patient's problem. But in this case, I manage the patient's pain. So that's what I do, which is a little bit challenging because we know how people have all kinds of pain and with all the narcotic issues there that we're trying to avoid not to give to patients because we don't want them to get dependent, but they have legitimate pain. So it's hard, it's a little bit challenging, but it's so rewarding because when you help the patient deal with their pain and you're able to at least, help them relieve their pain, they're very, very appreciative. And for the most part, those patients just really need someone that they can talk to. And that's been my role. And I've only been in this role for about 5 months, but I'm coming to love it and enjoy it because it's so rewarding. My previous roles as a nurse practitioner, they were okay, but this is totally different. I mean, it's challenging, it's rewarding, and patients truly truly appreciate what you do, and even the providers that are in the team, they know that they can count on you and they would just say, oh, how grateful they are that you're part of the team. So I still have a lot of things to learn in this role, but I know that I can do it and I'm there to help the patients. I'm there for them. So that's the best part of being a nurse because you have to have that passion or compassion and dedication to your job. Because if you do that, then I mean, it makes the job a lot easier and you are making a difference in your own little way.
Okay, now I have a question for you. Was that
Mhm.
always your dream is to be a nurse growing up? Or this is something that just came forward?
Well,
Like,
sorry, yeah. To be honest, it wasn't my passion. I mean, it wasn't my original dream because I grew up in public speaking. I remember my first time speaking in a big crowd was at first grade. I mean, it's so clear in my mind. I was even wearing that balintawak dress. You know,
Balintawak for non-Tagalog speaker. Balintawak is
yes,
very Filipiniana. You know, it's a very traditional Filipiniana
yes.
outfit for ladies.
Yes, so I grew up in public speaking ever since I was in elementary school until I graduated in college. I have been a competitor for oratorical competitions. I've won regional competitions. I've gone as far as the national competitions. So when I was in high school, people actually thought that I would go into broadcasting or mass communication, which I did. I did in the beginning. In fact, I went to UP College Baguio. Remember?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
then I took up mass comm journalism for the first semester, and then I switched to biology for the second semester because that's when I realized that I needed to prioritize my family. So I had to give up my dream so I can help my family. Actually, one interesting thing about me, when I was in UB College Baguio, Christine Bersola, Baba.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, we were blackmates. And she was actually the one that named me MJ. Because people called me Mary Jane all my life. And then when I went to UP College Baguio, she was the one that named me MJ. And she's very, very nice person,
Who
Christine
is there? Yeah,
Bersola.
Christine Versolis.
Yes, yes. So I have relatives here in the US, and they told me, because I'm just telling you now, we were very poor, very, very poor. I grew up very poor. Although my family line, like the Versosas, they were very prestigious, but unfortunately, my grandfather and my grandmothers were like, I'm not saying this to dishonor them or
No,
anything, but you know
no.
how they say they have black sheeps in the family, and apparently my grandparents were, because they were very, very prestigious in our city. But then
Yeah.
because of that, we grew up, very poor. And I was given the responsibility at a very young age to help my family. So which I did. I followed. I have a relative here in San Francisco, and she's already gone with the Lord also. But she told me the only way we can help you and your family is for you to take up nursing. So I had to give up my dream of being a speaker and being, whatever I wanted to do, which I enjoyed all my life. I had to give that up because I love my family. I love my siblings. I love my parents. I wanted to help them, and I wanted to change the trajectory of our lives. Like, just that, it gave me the strength and the determination and the motivation to take up nursing now, because without being a nurse, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be able to help my family. So I thank God for everything. I mean, I don't regret anything that I've done. And God is so good because
All the
here I
time.
I'm able to do what I love to do.
Yeah, I will talk about that in a minute.
Yes.
So, what I always say is we all have dreams growing up, and but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes a different path,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really what we didn't intend to, but we progressed, and
Mm-hmm.
we kind of like became better
Oh
as
yeah.
opposed to following your dreams. Now,
Mm-hmm.
one of the thing is you mentioned about being very poor. Are you from a big family back when you were Versosa, back in Batak? How many siblings do you have?
We are five. So I'm the second eldest, and there's five of us, but my father had another five children.
From
So
another. Well, that's
yeah,
so common.
yeah,
Honestly, growing
yeah.
up, I thought that was kind of funny. Like
Mhm.
people, they have a second home, a third home. And now
Mhm.
that I've been interviewing a lot of American, and it's the most common thing. Like, and it's well accepted.
Mhm.
That's why when I hear from my other program about that case, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So totally, you have step brothers and sisters. So totally 10 people.
Yes, we are, but both my parents passed away so young too. Yeah, like my mom was only 47 and my dad was
Wow.
56. So they're both gone. And yeah, we were very poor, but all my relatives politics. My father's cousins are lawyers, doctors, accountants, business people. But my father, he was a tricycle driver, I think, when he was younger, and then he became a truck driver, and then he became a bus driver. So I kid you not, when I graduated from elementary school, Josh, our valedictorian was the mayor's son.
Oh, of
Our
course.
salutatorian was the a doctor's daughter who was my best friend too. And I was the first honorable mention, and I was a bus driver's daughter, which I am proud of because my father, even though he was a bus driver, I mean, he supported us, and it doesn't matter what level. I mean, whatever challenges you go through, I mean, it's a choice. You can make
Yes.
it better, and that's what I did. Yeah.
As they said, if you're given if you're giving something best, the be the best of that particular situation.
Mhm.
Now, are you the only one here from your immediate five siblings or four siblings here in the States, or everybody's here now?
No, I have the second one, the third, my younger sister. She's in Lubbock, Texas, and then my other brother, who's next to her, is in Plano, Texas. So there's three of us, but our oldest and our youngest, they are still in the Philippines. And
Okay. And
yeah,
when did you come to the United States?
2003.
Oh, okay. And
Hired, or I got hired by Covenant Health System, which is in Lubbock, Texas.
yeah.
So that's how we ended up here, and we've stayed here. Yeah, but it was Lubbock first, which is West Texas. We lived there for about 9 years, and then we moved here in 2012. So we've been in Houston area for about 10,
And
11.
during
Yeah.
that time when nurses are hired, you bring your own family, right? So
Yes,
you
that is
got
correct.
Edison and the three kids.
Yes, I just came ahead of them like about 6 weeks, just 6 weeks, because my son EJ was still in like pre-K, and he just had to finish his school. Plus, my husband had a really good job. I didn't want him to leave right away, so I had to come by myself for about 6 weeks.
Yeah, but now look at Edison. Edison is the system person for MD Anderson, and
Mhm.
that's a system analyst for MD Anderson, and MD Anderson, every system or health company in the world, I would say, not only in
Yes.
Texas, it's very well known, and of course,
Mhm.
that's kudos to you, your family, and to EJ, and this is the thing that I enjoy most is like people like you is willing to share that
Mhm.
from your humble beginning and you are where you are now, and that
Mhm.
of course it's not a walk in the park. Imagine you want to be a broadcaster, you've been you're a black mate of Christine Bersola prior to getting married to Julius Babao. And
Mhm.
imagine we all have that, and that's one thing that's so nice to know and to hear, that sometimes you set aside your dreams
Mhm.
because you have to prioritize what matters most, and in that particular case is your family, your siblings, because
Mhm.
you want to do something better for not only for yourself, but to alleviate them, or to kind of like up them on whatever help you could do, and the sacrifices was well meant, and see where you are now. But the beautiful thing is, not only you are a nurse or a nursing practitioner, an NP, but you are also in a way a media personality, a broadcaster. See, you're hitting two birds with one stone. Remember how fun, how life works for us. Your dream was to be a newscaster, broadcaster, a media personality, and voila, you kind of set that aside. I'm not gonna visit that. Put
Mhm.
it under the back burner, and you are a Maxwell certified speaker at that. So there's a lot of things that you could have done if you were selfish, but you put that
Mhm.
aside and you pursue, because, and it's right. Your neighbors and your, especially your relatives, was right to is the best way to come to the United States during that time, even now, is to be a
Yes.
nurse, because that's very well respected and very welcoming to be a pandemic. And here you are really a host now too, of two, and we'll talk about that. Is it funny how the curveball in life works?
Mhm.
Not only now you're a nurse practitioner, but you have your two shows too, which is Bis Bis
The
Bis Talk,
yeah, the
and
best stuff.
also uh, Bold, Be Bold, Why Not? Okay, let's
Uh-huh.
talk about that. So how did which one, which came first? Be Bold, Why Not, or Biz Talk? Biz Talk is business talk, really.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's the best talk. But before we get to that, I just wanna also, of course, it's part of my journey. But I started doing this back in 2016 because I was part of Pinoy Houston TV, and we had this show called Howdy Philippines. That's
Okay.
how, yeah, that's how it all started. It's like God really brings the circumstances in your life because he knows the desires of your heart, and he brings those people that will bless you and that will make your dream come true. So that's how it started. 2016, I was a reporter. I was like a field reporter. I remember during Harvey, I even had like, I was wearing a raincoat
And
and
an
I had an
umbrella.
umbrella and I was reporting because our place was flooded. So I was like in the middle of the street trying to trying to report. And then I became a co-host of the show. And then I ended up to be the host before the show got, stopped. So that's how I started. And then the Biz Talk with the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, we've had it for over 2 years now. And I'm one of the co-hosts too. And now I'm the mainstay host, and I have like co-hosts every week, different co-hosts, like every episode. We just barely started that show. We actually have our sixth episode this coming Monday, and I'm one of the co-hosts. So, yes, Josh, you're right. I mean, like, I'm enjoying every minute of it though. I'm not getting paid. It's a voluntary job, but I enjoy what I do. And I can't imagine my life just coming back, like coming home from work or doing not doing anything. I think I have community involvement. I'm part of these two shows, and that's what makes life really fun because you're
That's
not
really
just,
Biztalk, which is
yeah.
so cool. So
Mhm.
Biztalk. So how's the format? Do you have a co-host? You're the main host, and you have
Mhm.
co-hosts every week. And this you talk about the people part of the chamber,
Yes, yes.
Greater Houston.
It's one of the benefits of our members. So we guest them and they talk about their businesses and we get to learn about them. So it's pretty much just getting to know our members and letting them out there so we can promote their businesses. And not only our members, but even our community partners. We have like community partners that become guests of our show, and like if we have special events coming up, we guest our those people that are involved in those organizations, and just to promote their activities or their events. So it's a platform where it's also kind of yours. It's like it's Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and then we also have podcasts like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Listen Notes. So it's the same thing, like, and it's live
Yeah.
like this, and then they can listen to the podcast if they miss the live show. Yeah.
Wow. And before anything else, Kuya G Glorioso is watching. He's one of the prominent anchor, host, content provider, and creator here at PHLB Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, hello. Sabi niya, hi. So one of the thing too that's interesting is the be bold. So what make you, because honestly I have two shows too. It's not a walk in the park because you have to make presentation, you have to do research, and you do your own thing. What made you decide? Because I know be bold just by the title alone. It's you talk about topics that are not normally discussed.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about be bold. Is that something that just you said that you're doing into your fifth episode? So is that something that you foresee that's gonna be ongoing until so many topics will be discussed?
Yes, yes, definitely. And this is part of Lawin Media Network. So Be Bold, Why Not? We made it that title because we want to encourage people. You know how we are so like limited to ourselves sometimes, and each and every person we believe has like beautiful stories that sometimes they don't want to share, that they're scared to share. But they never know that whoever is listening to their stories might make a positive impact. So it's actually more of creating that courage to get out there. You know how we create a facade of ourselves because we want to be in that the social media is it's just sometimes not good for people because you want to appear this person because we want to please everyone. But get out there and do your part in the community. I mean, your story is a beautiful story. Every single one of us has beautiful stories to tell. Like myself, I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit I grew up from a poor family, a dysfunctional family, because I know that through those experiences, I have become who I am. I mean, literally, I grew up homeless. I'm not kidding, Josh. We didn't have a house of our own. We lived in like relatives' places. We rented. We didn't even have anything like, you know how they say, kahit lupa sa paso. We didn't have that. But God is so good because He has a plan for your life. I believe in that too. Even you, when before you are born, God has a plan for your life. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. And that's why we are here. Be bold, be you, accept who you are. And I'm not kidding, Josh. It's not that I'm bragging, but like I was born poor and everything, but I have relatives, very interesting facts about me too. You know, Kylie Verzosa, she's
Yeah,
literally my
Kylie is
third.
Miss
Yeah.
International.
Yeah, she's my
Yeah,
third cousin because her dad and my dad are like second cousins. Like our great grandfathers are like brothers. And then Shintaro Valdez too. He's my father's second cousin. So, but and we grew up like going to my relatives, rich relatives, you know, places and all that. I even became like a housemaid when I was growing up just to make things, you know, work. So I my story is something that I know can be an inspiration to people because no matter what situation you are in, I mean God put you there because you have a purpose. And I think that's my purpose to share my story, to be bold and break the walls of shame or fear. Just get out there because you never know whose life you're going to change.
that's why they always say. I always
Yeah.
tell our listeners, viewers, that one, don't be afraid. Make your faith
Mhm.
bigger than your fear. And
Mhm.
second, I always tell people, do not let your past
Mhm.
lives, whatever you are, whoever you were, to dictate who you become.
Mhm.
Sabi nga nila, di ba, it's not your fault that you were born poor, but
Mhm.
it will be a sin if you die poor because
Mhm.
you are given all the chances. The education will be there up for the taking, but never, never, ever give up. That's why when I heard you talk about, and I of course I talked to some people who knows about you, I said, well, this lady would be a very good inspirational motivational speaker because I know you're proud of your simple beginning, your humble beginning, and what you have accomplished so far. And I know your story, like what you said, is very inspirational because it means like it gives hope, it gives
Mhm.
a inspiration to a lot of our listeners and viewers that you could be at that very stage as if rock bottom, but
Mhm.
with the guidance, with your faith, and of course with your diligence and trying to improve yourself, you could be the success that you always wanted or dreamed to be. And you are an example of that, and that is amazing and inspiring and motivational. And hopefully, not only our viewers right now, but also people who would be watching this show on repeat or in replay would get that from you because kasi 'di ba most of and this is not uncommon, most our kababayans, most our Filipino Americans or Filipinos abroad when they tried to so hard to forget about the past.
Mm-hmm.
Parang it is, sometimes they even make stories of, and they try not to reveal who they were, and it
Mm-hmm.
should it should not be that, because whoever you are, the success person you are today, it has something to do with, like, the hardship that you went through. Like in your case, the way I look at it and the way I hear you is you experience hardship. So you don't want to be experiencing that at a certain age. You strive, you study, you became the 18th laser of nursing to make sure you assure of a beautiful future that in store for you, and of course migrated to the United States gave you more opportunity. So ang ganda nung storya, ang ganda nung narrative. You were not, because di ba, we feel like, especially nowadays with all the problems that happened in the past 2 years, like, nako, ang nangyayari, nawala ang business ko, nawala si ganito, nawala, parang all you think about is what happened in the past. We don't look forward to the future that could help us be the person we are and we could be. Ang ganda ng story.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, because that's my purpose in life, I think, and that's why I can, because I have been through so much pain, I can empathize easily. That's why ever since I stepped my foot in the United States of America, I've been supporting like kids from the Philippines that I have not even met. I mean, it just breaks my heart because I know how it feels to be poor. So when you know that, you have more heart and compassion and you just want to help. And
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that if that I it's hard for me to help. I just it hurts me. It just hurts me if I say no. Even if I'm not rich. I mean, by all means I'm not rich. But if riches is measured by material success, I'm not that person. But you know what people say, or I have learned from this person, that your riches is dependent on what you value the most. And what I value the most are my family, my friends, my relatives, my and the people that I touch. Those are the things that I value the most. So even if I'm not materially rich, I mean, I'm rich because I love a lot of people and I care about people. So I think that's what I value the most. So in that aspect, I can say, thank you, Lord, I'm blessed, right? Because it's
That's
not all about
amazing.
material things. I mean, we are grateful for the material things because they give us comfort, you
Yes.
know, they give us comfort. We don't disregard that. But I think, and that's one thing I think with people is they don't feel content because they long for things that don't matter the most, right? Because
Yes.
I think for me, relationship is what's most important for me. I mean, everybody has their own thoughts and ideas, but that's just for me. So I'm just saying I'm not that rich, but with friends and family and relatives and all that, I consider myself rich. So thank you, Lord.
So
I'm blessed.
being rich is not really, like, I agree with you, and so is
Yes.
Adele Ordonez said, true,
Mhm.
because richness could be equated to, is it equated to material wealth?
Mhm.
There's people, because you are surrounded people who cares and love you, you're rich in that aspect, and
Mhm.
then in your case, you're rich in about helping people and the compassion. That's why I think you're one of the blessed one who experienced the pain in early
Mhm.
years. That's why you know what happiness is now, and what you're doing is just paying forward, and that was also in the book. It says, to whom much is given, much is required. So in your case, you might say, you're not really financially super rich, but you have the right heart and the right compassion, and that's kudos to you and amazing. And I hope a lot of people would imitate, emulate, and try to duplicate the things that, because I always tell people who complains about, especially in the Philippines, they complain about the government not doing it for them. I always say, start from within. If you
Mhm.
wait for the government, or any government for that matter, to make the change, you will all grow old and die and will never change. So start from it. I always tell people, be the candle, be the first candle who light, and and that let that shine be transferred to one another, be a beacon of hope, and that's what you could ask, and uh, that would be emulated and copied and duplicated, especially if it touches people's heart. Now, I
Yeah.
have a question for you. A lot of people are texting me, is she in San Francisco? Because the background is the Golden Gate Bridge. I said, no, wala po. Yun po ay screen lang. Kasi I thought she's in Texas. She is po in Houston, Texas, and we're keeping her up. Yun po ay, teka, how do I say? It's a screenshot na
Yeah,
parang
it's a
hindi makita yung
virtual
background niya.
background. Yeah.
So, so sabi ng isa dito, eh bakit hindi Houston, Texas? Hindi nasa ang kanyang picture.
Kasi
Kasi
po
parang,
wala akong na-upload na ano, yeah, that's right. But that's just a trick. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm not in San Francisco. I've been there though, but I'm not from there. I have relatives there, but I'm not
see, I
from
told you,
there.
they're very, very keen on the observation. Is she? I thought she's in Houston, Texas. How come it's Golden Bridge? No, that's po, okay, happy viewing to Josephine Castillo. Josephine is in Kamuning or in front of Ateneo de Manila, and she's one of the uh, branch manager, assistant vice president of BDO. Nako, maraming pera. Alexander Francisco, ay, ang ganda naman. Alexander is watching us from Quezon City, Philippines. Sabi
Mhm.
niya, live life to the fullest and focus on the positive. Ay, true ka dyan.
Yes.
Okay, etong also si MJ, not only she's a nursing practitioner on the pain management part of the pain management team, and she's been a nurse for so many years. She's a host also of two shows, just like myself. But she is very active in the community. She is a board member and the secretary of the how do you say that, American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Houston Region. Okay, and on
Mhm.
top of that, she's a board member and educational committee chair of the Philippine Nurses Association Metro Houston. Ang tanong, with all these things, and you're a mother and a wife, where do you find the time to rest?
I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. But that's what my husband tells me. Because, like, oh my God, I'm not kidding. There are nights I have to go straight to meetings and I don't come home till about 11:20. And one time Mara was calling me, like, Ma, where are you? It's like 11:20. So I think what really gives me the strength is because I enjoy what I'm doing.
Yes.
No, I enjoy what I'm doing. When I come home, I have a restful night and then I wake up, go to work. And then if I have meetings, I just go straight. And on the weekend, I try my very best to do self care. Like I go to the spa and all that. If I have time, I try to really devote some time for myself. And my husband is very, very supportive. So, and then Mara too. Like there are times Mara and I would go to the massage together. So, yeah, every little time that I have, I try to, take care of myself too. Because if you don't take care of yourself, how will you take care of other people, right?
That's
So,
right.
yeah, so we got to take care of ourselves so we can take care of others. So, yeah, I'm not neglecting myself. I promise. I just enjoy what I'm doing. That's why I have all the energy and it just gives me this different type of fulfillment in my life when I'm doing all these things. As I said, I can't imagine myself just going to work, coming home and all that. And on top of that too, because Mara is so busy, like whenever she's in dance season, she would have like competitions and conventions. And yeah, I just do all things because I enjoy what I'm doing and I take care of myself when I have the time.
Well, as they said, if you find your passion and your work becomes fun, because
Mm-hmm.
like in your case, you enjoy your being a nurse practitioner, you enjoy being a host, you enjoy being a board member and a very active participant of the Nurses Association. To other people, that's work if they don't like doing it. But in your case, it transcends. And we could see that your demeanor and, of course, how excited you are to talk about it. So it becomes your passion. And if it's you're passionate about it, it's not work anymore. It's fun. And you
Mm-hmm.
don't really worry about time. But imagine if you hate being a nurse, it's like 8 hours of work. It's like going through hell and back. But that's different. But before we continue, Tony Pilapil, Tony Pilaper is the one who cuts my hair and does everything with my hair. So,
Mhm.
audience or listeners and viewers, if you don't like my hair, blame Tony Pilapil. No, yeah, sir, just how are you? I'm watching your show. Yes, Tony, how are you?
Mhm.
Ems Dems is watching also from the Philippines. Now, I have a question for you. Now that we know you're in Houston, Texas, and you do all these things, so are you pretty excited to have your boys arrive, your two boys, EJ and Xavier, in 10 days, right?
Yes, of
So are
course.
they coming at the same time?
Yes, they're gonna come here the same day, but they're not gonna live the same time. So EJ's staying a little bit longer. So, but I'm so excited. I'm counting the days. Family chat. I was like 10 more days. Yay. So I'm like, I'm
You
counting
have
the
a
days. So I'm
countdown.
not kidding. Yes, I'm counting the days. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hug them. Yes.
So now that we talk more about you and what you do and the things that you do, now let's go to part two of our discussion or our exchange. So
Okay.
what makes you very happy? What is happiness to you and what makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Actually, I'm not gonna say happy because happy is more superficial, but what I can say, what gives me joy. Well,
Mhm.
what gives me joy is my family, my friends, my relatives, and every little, all the other people that I'm able to touch in my own little way. No matter how little or small things that I can do for others, that's what gives me joy. Because joy is deep. Joy is like it doesn't go away. You just feel that inner peace, inner joy because you love your family, you love people. And I think that's what really gives me joy. That's why I'm not kidding. Even random people on Facebook message me and I don't know them. And if they ask for help, I try to help because that's what gives me joy. Most especially my family. Yes. And God.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now we know what makes you joyful. Now
Mhm.
what makes you sad?
What makes me sad is if something happens to my family. It's all about people. It's like all about people. Well, what makes me sad is really just I don't know, it's hard when I'm not able to, let's say for example in a day's job, if I know that I fell short of my job, it makes me sad because I want to do and do beyond. But if I fall short of caring for others, if I fell short of loving my family, if I fell short of anything that I can do, then that makes me sad. Yeah.
Okay, and then what do you do? Uh, what's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
When I wake up in the morning, I stretch my no, I get up and like just I thank God for a new day and then I just stretch a little bit and then I drink cup of water. That's very important. Yeah, that's the first thing. I'm grateful. The first thing I do is just be grateful when I wake up in the morning. And that makes my day.
Now
Yeah.
you mentioned about drinking a glass of water. What health benefits? So people already said, why does she do that? Okay, so because we hear that, and I know I read some books that the first thing you really need to do, aside from being grateful and being prayerful, is to drink a glass of water. It's just like oil that kind of is well coming from a nurse practitioner. What's the benefit of drinking water upon waking up?
Because the first thing is like we have to prepare our gut, right? And then that we have to hydrate ourselves because all night long we were just asleep and all that. So we have to hydrate because we have to feed the cells in our system. And water is has the most part of our system. If you get dehydrated, they say that you can die. I mean, like being dehydrated, you can have a lot of things. You can have fever, you can have illnesses, you can just go to the hospital if you get dehydrated. So it's like preparing your gut and cleansing your system with just water, and even warm water is better because it I've read benefits of warm water too, that it helps you lose weight if you drink warm water, and just stimulate your gut system. So you can have prepared gut whenever you have your first meal. And also when you before you have your first meal, it makes you full. So people get full and filled with water, and it just makes them healthier. It's for health and wellness. Water is the best drink. You know, you can forget about all the sodas, the juices, and everything. I just drink water most of the time. So because it's helpful to our system.
And I believe that a lot of people had said water is the fuel of life.
Mm-hmm.
Fuels. Now the question now, that one of our they PM me. Please ask which kind of water should we be drinking? Is it purified? Uh, what's this? Purified spring water or fluoride water? Please kind of ask the NP, Nurse MJ. So, what's your take on that? See, now it's like more health advice. Spring or pure what's that? Fluoride.
Well, they say as long as you have to have minerals in the water, right? Plus, alkaline water has been very, very popular. So actually, we have like alkaline water from the house because it neutralizes the pH in your system. So I drink alkaline water. Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, as long as it's pure and it has minerals too, because we need the minerals in our system. So and but
So
yeah, you gotta test. There's this water test. If the water is too acidic or it's alkaline. If it's more alkaline, that's healthier.
now, you mentioned about your dream of being a broadcaster or a journalist in the past, and then of course you became a nurse, you did an NP, and now you're a host. Are there fulfill?
I can't really at right now. But I think my dream is I want to have a house in Batak. That's because, as I said earlier, right, we grew up homeless.
Yeah.
Like literally, we didn't have any home. But I think my ultimate dream is to have a place in Batak where my family can gather together whenever we go home. We have a little house there, but I have a little bit of a dream that to build a different house so we can enjoy and just reminisce the past, that yes, we didn't have anything growing up, but here we are. And just a simple house, that's all I want. I don't want the big mansions or whatever, but just a simple house for my family to enjoy together and create more memories and beautiful memories, and just leave a legacy for our parents, because my parents died young. So if we have that house that I've always dreamt of, that like a family house, and my kids know about this. So that's my dream. But it's a simple dream. I know God will provide. God will make that happen, because he had given me all these possibilities. He had given me all these opportunities. And I believe that whatever God has started in you, he'll be faithful to complete it. So
Amen.
I think that's my ultimate dream.
Now, what's your ultimate dream or your dreams for your kids?
Of
For
course,
let's
for
start with
them,
EJ, and then
yeah.
for Xavier, and of course for Mara.
Well, of course, I want them to have good life, that whatever happens to us, that they'll be able to support themselves. So, and what's important is really believe them, because we're all gonna go there, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
well, we're all.
inevitable. Yeah, it's
It's just a matter
inevitable.
of who goes first.
Yes, yes, we have our own times. But my dream for my kids is they will have a family of their own, a beautiful family that will support them as well, and that they will be able to support themselves no matter what happens, and that they will continue to love each other no matter what. And I can see that now in them. They're like my oldest, he always thinks of his siblings. And Xavier, he always thinks of his siblings as well. And they are very caring. I know that they, whatever happens, that they will be able to support each other. That's all I want for them. And that they will of course have their house, family, a good career, health. And of course, important thing is health. Because when something happens health wise, I mean, that can be very devastating. So that's all I pray for. They're successful in everything, in their career, in their family, and they have best health. That's all I ask as a
That's
mom
so
for my
sweet.
kids.
Now, MJ, what makes you frustrated?
What makes me frustrated? I think what makes me frustrated? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Let's not go there. But anyway, I mean, this is me. What makes me frustrated the most is when people try to put down other people. I mean, I'm not saying that there well, we don't know, we know that we have this kind of mentality, right? That people, even if they're not even there yet, people already like try to pull them down. And this is always what I say. No matter what you do to me, I'm fine. I don't care. You can just do anything to me. It doesn't bother me. But when it comes to my children, I mean, that's what
You
that
become a wild, crazy woman if somebody would. That's the mother instinct, I think.
yes.
Like
Yes.
you go ballistic.
Yes, although I still don't go ballistic, but it can trigger me because I try to not to. I mean, I try. I'm not kidding. I pray for those people. I'm like, sometimes I feel guilty. Why do I feel like this? I don't want to have these negative thoughts about this person, and I feel guilty. But we're all human. Nobody's perfect. I feel that too. I mean, but please be kind to kids. Please be kind to other people. That's all. I get frustrated with people that I don't know, but they seem to be out of this world. There are some people like that sometimes you can't even imagine why there are people like that. You know what I mean?
Now
Yeah.
you do a lot of things. You're mom, you're a wife, and a nurse practitioner. You are a host, and you are a board member of the chamber and of the nurses association. Among all these roles that you do, which one would you're willing to be known for, and which one of those you're willing to give up?
Okay. I would rather be known for being a great mom. Sounds really, I don't know, but that's, I mean, oh, my kids, I'm not kidding, Josh. Whenever I tell them this phrase, the most beautiful thing that ever happened, they know already because they know. I'd rather be known as a great mom because a mother's love is very unconditional. And I know there are situations out there that there are some mothers, I don't know, and I can't imagine how some mothers would not love their kids, but there are, unfortunately. And I would rather be known for that, being a good mom, a good wife, and I'd rather be known as a person that cares, not a person that I don't know. I can imagine myself. I know there are people out there that would say negative things. So you cannot please everybody. You
Yes.
cannot please everybody. But what's more important to me is to really be known as a caring person, as a caring person.
Now, I always am fascinated with the things that you have said earlier. But if you could go back in time, and you just mentioned you turned 50, and you meet your 20, like you're 50 now, and by some stroke of luck, you travel in time, and
Mhm.
you met yourself, 20 years old self.
Mhm. I to myself, Mary Jane, you're doing a great job because no matter what you're going through, you are strong, you're motivated, you just are an inspiration. So I'm not going to change anything that had happened in my childhood, that had happened in my relationships. I'm not going to change any of that. Whatever happened to me in the past, it's what, or they have brought me here. They have made who I am. So I don't regret any of that. So I'm going to tell my 20-year-old self, you are doing a great job. Keep it up. And I'm not kidding, Joss. I've met people in my life, even when I was in high school, college, and all that, random people that suddenly we share each other's story and they are just so blessed. I remember when I was teaching test of spoken English, because before I came to the US, I was a reviewer at IPAMS for the test of spoken English, and I was sharing my life story. And one of the students approached me after the class and she said, Miss Jane, thank you so much. Because of your story, now I understand my situation better. So yeah, I'm just going to tell myself again and again, you're doing a great job. You have faith and keep doing it because it's going to change your life. So whoever is listening or watching right now, no matter what situation you're on, you are given by God a free will and choice to either go the right way or choose the hard way. I mean, it's being in this world, it's not easy at all. We all go through challenges. It's part of life, but that's what also make our life better. It adds spice to our life and it makes us stronger. You know, if you are born with a silver spoon in your mouth, sometimes you take life for granted, right? But if you experience all the struggles, it makes you a better person. So my 20-year-old self is going to be the same. She's doing a great job, and I don't regret being that 20-year-old at all.
Well, before we continue, hello to Desi Santos. Desi Santos watching from Quezon City. Oh, we have Catherine Cruz. Just hopefully you watch this show, Catherine. Catherine is the wife of the former Congen General of, I think you know him, Adel Cruz. He used to handle us. He used to handle part of his territory was Houston, Texas. That's Congen Adel Cruz, and now he is the chief of protocol, presidential protocol in Malacanang, as well as presidential advisor of foreign affairs. So hello, Catherine, or Kathy, or Lilette, for that matter. To all her friends, we call her Catherine. So happy watching to you, and hopefully you watched from the beginning of the show. There's so much inspiration and things that you would know about our guest, MJ, Nurse MJ. She shared so many things about herself. Now, we talk about your 20-year-old self. Now, when you wake up in the morning and you look,
You're beautiful.
self-manifesting, that's the way to do it.
Yes. No, you're a child of God and you're blessed. You're beautiful. I mean, we have to speak blessings to ourselves and to others.
So true.
Yes, yes. But
So
it's
many times.
true. I look at the mirror and it's like, because when you wake up, you're just yourself. You're no nothing, right? Though I don't wear makeup, really. Literally, I don't even wear lipstick when I go to work. I'm just wearing lipstick now because I'm on the show. But what you see is what you get. But yeah, we have to accept ourselves. You know what? We are beautiful in our own ways. I mean, just appreciate who you are and be who you are and just love yourself. Because if you know how to love yourself, then you can give love. Because you know what they say? How can you love others if you don't even love yourself? Right?
True.
Yeah. You cannot give what you don't have. But some people, though, they love themselves too much. So that's extreme. Yeah, just
Now,
do it in the right way.
now, MJ, we're almost on the end part of our show.
Mhm.
So, what would you say legacy that you want to leave behind?
My legacy is my whole life is a legacy, Josh. My whole life. As I said, for those people that I have touched, my family, my friends, my relatives, my whole life is a legacy because every single part of my life has created this beautiful creature. I mean, it's a work of art. God has created this mosaic of my life. So whenever my time is here or my time has come, just me, that's my legacy. Everything about me is my legacy. I don't take out any of that, any part of it, because it is who I am. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, are we like in Miss Universe questioning?
No, because we want to know more about things that you have in mind. Now, if I ask a friend of yours, how would they describe MJ?
I would I would hope, no, I'm just kidding. I know my friends would tell everyone or would say that I'm a supportive and kind person. I think even my in-laws, my sister-in-law would attest to that. I think they would say I'm kind, I'm generous, and I love unconditionally because I've had difficult people in my life that no matter what they've done to me, I still love them. So, and I have sacrificial love. I know especially my in-laws, my sister-in-law, she can attest to that. My friends, I'm also like I'm entertaining.
Yes, you are. That's one thing
Because I
I
wanted to
remember
become
about
a
you when we
movie
first
actress. So
met.
I'm
You're
just
very,
kidding.
very entertaining. And you're all over the place too at the time. Now, you mentioned about things that would have said to you about your friends or your family. Now,
Mhm.
what are the three things you could share that we would not know about you?
Okay, something interesting. Okay. I binge watch Korean drama.
Oh my God, you're a K-pop alcoholic. K-drama. Here we go. K-drama here. Not Crash Landing on You. What's
Oh my God. I watched that 3 times.
That's the other one with the military thing. Because I'm not a K-drama person, and I
Yeah.
just hear it from some of the guests as well as some friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's one thing. But I tried to slow down a little bit because with all the things that I'm doing,
I know where you find the time. So that's
yes,
one. You're a K-drama alcoholic.
yes. I sing. I can sing a little bit. That's one.
Are you as good as Mara?
No, not at all. I'm not kidding. You know
Guys,
what is
I will, we keep talking about Mara. Mara is her youngest daughter and only daughter for that matter.
uh-huh.
I am promising you, I will push heaven and earth to guess this, well, the team of Mara and her friend. Because I
Mhm.
saw them at Fiesta Cosa, Texas last August, and
Uh-huh.
they were phenomenal. They
Thank
were
you.
phenomenal. I said, who's that kid? I want to guess them on my show. And lo and behold, I was asking the mom. Happens to be MJ.
I know, right? We were on stage, and then it was like, "Yeah, I want to talk to the mom." And I said, "Like, yeah, that's my daughter." Yeah, so
So
I think,
we'll make it
uh,
happen in October.
wow, thank you.
Okay, so you
Hopefully,
sing, you
they're
do.
gonna, yeah, I hopefully they're gonna have time because you know how they're busy they are. But just let us know so we
Yeah,
can
well,
plan for
we'll
it.
do a pre-tape if we have to. A pre-tape is
Yes.
live, even on a weekend, and then we'll
Oh
show it
yeah.
the following week. Yeah, we have ways, you know that, as
Yes.
a
If there's a
host
will,
also because
yeah, yeah. If there's a will, there's a way.
we will make it happen. Okay, so you're a K-drama addict, no, but you're willing to share.
When I'm at a party, whatever party that is, as soon as that music starts, I'm one of the first people to be on the dance floor, and I would be one of the last
Is
people to
that
get off
right?
the dance floor.
I really
I
have to stay
dance.
a little longer in Houston because you guys are always when I'm in Houston they want me to stay longer, but for some reason I'm in and out. But normally I would tell Bong Sosa next time to make sure I would like to see you that. I mean I didn't see you as
Yeah.
such, but that would be interesting. You're the dancing queen.
I dance till I drop. That's usually how I do it. I'm not kidding. Like until my feet are hurting. I'm not gonna stop. Because to me, that's why the music is there. I mean, what's the music for, right? So I can't wait. Whenever I'm in a party, I'm like, oh my God, can we just like stop all this talking and all that? Let's just start dancing. I'm not
Wow.
as good as my daughter, but I just love to dance. I don't know, but whatever kind of music that you play, I'm gonna be there.
Wow. Okay, we have, well, Floyd Tena is watching us. He said, hi, Tito Josh. Floyd Tena is one of the actor par excellence, and right now he has so many projects on ABS-CBN. It's being shown across the globe under TFC.
Mhm.
He is a part of that. He's a professor, a teacher, instructor at senior high. It's a ABS-CBN a teleserye, and
Mhm.
then of course he does a lot of stage work, and I guested him before, and he has amazing voice, and one of these days I will produce this guy in the
Wow.
Philippines and hopefully here. He's such a good actor and all, and amazing friend as well, and of course he has this son. Oh my God, JD. JD is amazing. He can
Mhm.
do oh my gosh, this song that is so high end, and they he just did a production of Ibarra with Piolo Pascual. It's a musical, and JD just killed it. I think he
Wow.
played Basilio. No, teka.
Oh,
No, yeah, Basilio.
Basilio.
And yeah, sabi
Uh-huh.
niya, Floyd said, hope to see you guys soon. Oh, for sure, Floyd, for sure. And welcome. And you're catching the last part of that. And for sure, we're gonna talk. He's one of those that I would be more than glad to produce a
Mhm.
show in the Philippines. And
If you need
hopefully,
extra, I'm here.
oh, we'll do some shows here. Don't worry, we'll do some Fort Impact, the four
Uh-huh.
girls. They're doing their US tour, and hopefully we could do Houston, Texas, and San Antonio, and definitely you guys will be invited.
Mhm.
So, Floyd, I will call you right after the show. But before the last question I have for our special guest, MJ, or Mary Jane Concepcion, the
Mhm.
RN, the nurse practitioner, the life changer, the podcaster, the radio host, and so on, so mother, wife, and so on and so forth. My question is, how do you want to be remembered?
How do I want to be remembered? I just want to be remembered as MJ, plain MJ, simple MJ. That's all. And that I will want to be remembered as someone who has touched so many lives, that has inspired so many people, because that's where things or in life really matter, that you'll be remembered. I know people will remember you for the bad things that you have done too, but I hope I hope that in my case I will be remembered for whatever simple stuff or little things, small things that I have done for other people, because that's what really mattered to me, how people view me and how I touch other people's lives.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, this has been a very insightful. It would be so amazing to get to know you better, and then finally we made it happen. And thank you for staying up. I know it's past midnight now in Houston, and this is much appreciated. You're just like Marita Mendoza and Father JM and Ferdy. I kept them up to in the morning when they guested, because it's different when it's live, so we could have all the interaction and all this interaction, and then it's amazing that I hear your story, and I know it blessed not only myself, the show, but definitely our viewers, our listener, and our team replay. I can't wait for them to tell me feedback on this particular show where you guested, because the things that you shared, they are very inspirational, motivational, and definitely can, like what you said, can be a life changer,
Mhm.
because regardless of what you were before, the hardship that you went through, you said you were the poorest of the poor, but look at you now. You are an amazing, successful nurse practitioner, a host, a life changer, a mom, a successful mom of three kids, a successful wife, and a punong abala of things when there's fiesta. Isa sa mga punong abala when there's a fiesta in Houston, Texas. And it is a privilege not only to have you as my guest, but to get to know you and to get to know your daughter eventually, and of course, hopefully, to meet them in person once I visit you in Texas or when you come visit me in LA. But definitely, one of these days will make it happen. And to our viewers and our listeners, I made a promise, and I will make kulit uh, to the mother to make sure that we get into Mara's schedule as well as her friend's schedule, because you have to hear them. And I'm not bragging, but I'm telling you, the blending, the harmony, for such a young age, they got it together. And I continue much success to you, MJ,
Thank
and
you.
more power to your two shows. Be bold, why not? And Biz Talk. So those are amazing platforms that I know it touches people's lives. I know it's not only happening because it's in Las Vegas, it's in Texas, but it could be seen, heard as well, just like our any shows, that it can touch people's lives as well. And like what you said, it could change lives, because the more positive we are, the better we are. So I am so grateful for you to allow us to guest you, and to know more about you, and to surprise you with pictures of your family and to know more about your thoughts, your dreams, and basically your life prior to the U.S. and now, and the things that you are getting into, or has been things that you are busy with. It's more likely, and thank you. I think if it that's been said by the community, every contribution that you have done to not only to the people in Texas, the Filipinos abroad in Texas, I know it touches a lot of lives, especially things that we do. And sometimes we don't really notice it, but it really touches people's lives. Oh,
Mhm.
see, sabi ni Emma Consul from Carson. Yes, hearing from the heart, life changer indeed. God bless all. Oh,
Oh,
see,
thank
and
you.
that's Emma. Emma Consul is one of the respected individual here in Carson. Then Carlos Mangonon. Carlos Mangonon is a producer of concert. Carlos, Fort Impact has already been approved, so we're doing shows now. So we'll talk offline on that one. And Carlos is producing a show too.
Mhm.
I think it's sometime in October or November, but we'll talk to you, Carlos, about that. So MJ, I know I'm not gonna hold you anymore later than what we have kept you with, but maraming salamat. I know this is not the first. Oh, before anything else, let's show this activity that they're gonna have this September. Can
Mhm.
we show that, Yo? There is an activity you guys posted that maybe we could help promote as well. Yo, are you
Mhm.
still there? Please promote that, and it's a, hopefully they'll find that poster. It's a
Mhm.
health poster.
Mhm.
It's a anyways, hopefully, Yo, I'm not sure if you are still there at the studio because it's kind of late as well. But there is a, hold on, let me find it. There is a show. Hold on, maybe you could talk about it a little bit. Your Life, Your Health. And this is happening at the Vietnamese Civic Center, 11360 Bel Air Boulevard, Suite 900 in Houston, Texas. And it's happening Saturday, September 23rd. And I saw, yeah, right there. There's the poster. So, what's your involvement in this one?
Well, actually, I'm not involved in it, but one of the organizers just requested me to kind of spread the word. So yeah,
Yeah.
please support that. It's for the Royal Houston Lions Club, something like that. Yeah. So it's like a health fair where they provide like free health check and well check in that community for the community. So please, everybody who's available, if you want to get your blood pressure checked, your diabetes checked, and just be educated, because Philippine Nurses Association actually will be there on that event as well. And actually there's like three events that are going to be happening that day. That's why I'm going to be attending the other two, so I can't be like Monday, I mean like from morning till night. So I would love to be part of that, but I just wanted to share that to everyone because I'm not going to be able to attend that because there's other two activities that I will be attending that day. But yeah, for those of you who are available and want just to have a wellness and health check, go to the Vietnamese Civic Center. So support
Well, you
that
could,
in
well,
A.
MJ, you could tell the organizer that you did promote it, and
Yes.
it was all over. It was globally seen, and it's
Mm-hmm.
happening in September 23rd. But before
Yes.
we end, I would like to congratulate and wish the owner of PHLB Radio happy birthday. It's tomorrow.
Oh,
We're not gonna tell his age, but he's celebrating his birthday on that on tomorrow. So happy birthday to Johan. Maligayang kaarawan to you, to Flora, of course. More blessings, and I know God knows your heart, and I would pray that all the beautiful things, awesome things life has to offer will be granted to you. Continue success with PHLB Radio, and I know it's not a walk in the park to have a a platform like this, but you're making it happen not only for my shows, but to all the shows and to all the anchors and content provider. And you are one of the best person I have seen, and that is coming from my heart. And you know, I don't give compliment just like that, but definitely what you've done, I salute you, sir, and happy birthday. I wish you all the best and more birthdays to come.
happy
So
birthday po.
yeah, I know it's a surprise, and it's out tomorrow, happening tomorrow. So, MJ, maraming salamat. So, any message before we end? Any message to your family, your loved ones, your friends, your supporters, your fans of your shows, and to other people, Filipinos abroad? This is your chance to tell any message you have in mind.
Yeah. To all of you who are watching, I just want to say thank you, first of all, for watching the show. And I also want to special mention my relatives who've been part of my success. I have relatives in South San Francisco, Auntie Glo, Auntie Joanne, Uncle Johnny, and Uncle Chito, and the families, my Lola Merced in Stockton, California, and all my relatives in the Philippines, and my family, that I've done what I've done because of you. And uh, the only way that I'm gonna be able to be more joyful is if everybody, all our family, will be in a better position. And that's what I'm wishing for all of us. You know, my brother and my sister in the Philippines. I love you so much. I miss you. I can't wait to get home because I'm going home in the Philippines in December, and I just miss home. I mean, I'm only going to be there for a short period of time, but I just really miss home. I miss my hometown. So I'm going to be spending Christmas for a because we usually go home, but then usually it's summertime. But this time I'm going home in Christmas, so I can't wait to see my family. And to my family here, my kids, my husband, I love you all so much. My in-laws, I love you. My friends, I love you all. And to whoever is watching this, I just want to leave you with this. I mean, whatever situation we are in, we just have to be grateful because whether or not it's hard or it's easy, it's tough, there's a reason for that. And what comes out of our situation is what really matters. We can come out good from a bad situation, and we still have to be grateful because that's what really shapes us. That's what shapes our character. That's what shapes our values. So we always have to be grateful no matter what situation we are in. I know it's easier said than done, but with the grace of God and with the guidance of our divine holy power, I mean, it can be done. If you believe and have faith, anything is possible. So always be grateful. And that's from the bottom of my heart. And I am thanking everyone for watching tonight. And for those who's going to listen in the podcast, God bless everyone. And thank you.
Well said, and amen to that. So again, maraming salamat for the time. I know I'm keeping you really, really late, but it's all worth it. And I know a lot of people will be inspired and motivated of what they have seen and what they will be that will be saying. And before I close any of my show, aside from being grateful, be kind. You
Yes.
can never go wrong with kindness. And I
Mhm.
always tell and advise people, every time you do something nice or you are kind, it will come back to you in so many ways, so many forms, in different people. And with that, maraming salamat. I'll see you tomorrow in Dear Kuya Josh. We have brand new story. And if I don't see you tomorrow, you have a wonderful weekend, guys. And whatever is left of the day, enjoy it, have fun, live it as if it's your last day of your life. And if I don't hear from you or don't see you next week, you have a wonderful week, and just celebrate life and live life to the fullest. It might not be the life that you wanted, but it will be a good life. And with that, maraming salamat po. Until next time. Bye, everybody.
Just like a friend from back home. This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.